We're gonna be doing a little more fly tying again today. Musky fly. Gonna try to recreate this fly tied last fall. It's a game changer with 4 shanks at the tail. I'm gonna try to do that again. Another probably 4/0 S12 hook, a shank in the middle, and then we're gonna do another 6/0 ahrex hook there. We're gonna do this in a white with a yellow tail. To start a big musky game changer, you gotta start at the tail. Got our smallest shank in there. Tail feathers. Pick up a couple matching pairs. These aren't too curved. They do already look pretty curved, so if you got anything that's flatter. Strip the bottoms, fuzzy fibers off the bottom. Take your feathers, pair them up. Get them in order. Don't want them all the same length. Get a little taper to them. Add them on to your shank. Not sure if you could hear that in the background, but that was a thirsty dog. Holy cow. There we go. Got some tail feathers on there. Do your best to clean it up. And then add a first piece of body now for this fly. Take out a pinch of this, a long synthetic fiber here. It's gonna be kind of messy, but that's kind of the name of the game with this stuff. I'm gonna just go right ahead and cut this bunch in half because this stuff will go a long way, and we don't need a super long chunk starting off with. We're just gonna do enough to kind of cover that, get a veil over that tail about this long or so. Let's see, about there. So probably do a top and a bottom to this part here. We'll go about like that. Kind of taper it a little bit. And then this you can push then back. And spread it around and push it backwards. Work it with your fingers, tie it down. And I mean, this is gonna look it's gonna look pretty wild at first. I'm gonna come through and trim everything back up real nice. That's a good start for now. I did cut my line though. I'm gonna have to come back on. And it's a dang shank. Got a sharp end to it. May cause a couple issues, but try to cover it up. Some extra thread. Take off the tag. Let's do a wood finish here. It's all gonna get covered up with each shank is gonna do more to veil and cover up as you go along. So just have some patience there. Take that off and see what we got. And that'll be our tail. Could go longer, could go shorter, but I think that'll be enough to catch their eye. An all white fly and a little bit of a yellow accent to the tail. So on to the second shank here. Put your shank on. Do your first one. Get her clamped in. Thread on there. A little bit of a thread base. I like to cover up that shank because it can be sharpened. Once you get to this part of the fly, you don't want to end up nicking your line, so just give her a good thread base. You got plenty of thread and sit around. These game changers you're gonna need, make sure you got full set of thread though. So we'll start a little bit back from the bump. Probably do 2 sets of fiber on this one. So pull your fiber back out. Do enough to kind of cover up where we did and give a bit of a taper. Tie it on. And give it a couple loose wraps. Do a bit to kind of push that material all the way, have it surround the fly. Little tighten wraps in the middle, and then we're gonna do our best to kind of, well, could trim, do a bit of a trim first to it. Save some of that trim there. Come in with our tool, reverse tie to an old pen, and tighten it down. Enough space for another one. And then let this stuff just be overgrown in there because we're gonna come back through. We're gonna trim it up so it's got more of that fish shape to it instead of a wild chicken, so stay tuned here. I'm gonna do my best to keep cutting a couple clumps in half and kind of building up that body to it. Don't want it too thick of the tail. I want to keep it, get it thicker as you go, each shank up, just little increments. Help you build that shape. And then do a little less cutting at the end. some of that extra loose stuff. You got yourself makings of fly. You got that first articulation there. Looking good. All right, so we got through the tail section. Pretty much just doing the same thing on repeat. Couple clumps, reverse tied. Now we made our way to the first hook. I like to put a nice thread base down because we're going to be attaching a shank to hold on to the tail section. This is basically just another shank, but just got no end piece there. I tie that on and I clip it right on the side, basically on the side of the shank. It kind of comes off like that, right off the bend of the hook. That all nice and firm on there. I like to use some super glue then to kind of cinch everything down as well. I'll do a little 360 of this thing just to tighten it on. A little bit of super glue on there. Take the excess off there. That thing is glued in place. Cover that up a little bit more. You're gonna have to give that a second to dry before you add your material, otherwise that's gonna be a nightmare. Once it's up dry in there, just keep repeating the process. You go in with some more of this synthetic fiber. Gonna keep building the body up. I do about 3 on this one. The midsection. That left over. Half a clump. Spread it around. Tighten it. I get spread it around pretty evenly. Use those fingers to manipulate it. Tie in front. You just keep reverse tying this stuff in. It's covered up, so I'm not worried about making it that pretty for you. There you go. Now it looks like one thick thing so far, but you get that scissors out, start cutting all that stuff off. It'll take shape in no time. Take a lot of that tail off too. This will be good. Castable fly. Alright, we're gonna try to finish up this fly now. Running out of material, so let's see how this goes. Cut this like a two-thirds to one-third ratio almost. That'll be my first clump. Just to cover up the connection there. Running out of material, not much you can do about that, but could get something. That's almost a different material, is it not? That's a totally different material. Just realizing that now. Yikes. Well, what can you do? Let's tie in a couple feathers here. This will be a different fly. These kind of suck. They're so like angled, curved. Do a long one and a shorter one. Laser dub. The laser dub, just a little bit longer. Got some flash in it, just like the other stuff. This one was good. I'll straighten it out. It's looking good, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll do a reverse tie of this. Let's start. Push it back. Cut this one down the middle. You take it, redistribute those ends, straighten them out, and this will be the top layer. I'll do the same thing with the other half. To the bottom. There we go. Got the makings of a decent head now. Let's cinch that. And straighten them up and down. Pull that back. And straight pull that line forward and tighten it all down. What does it hurt to throw another layer of dubbing in there? Just to make this thing not look such an ugly nose to it. That down, top, straighten this stuff up, the bottom, trim this all up then, it should look fine with a set of eyes on it. Push that back, push that back. Put a nice bow on this one with the whip finish. There you go. That's that's what we got. Here we go. We got the last tied fly and the one from last fall. Different materials, and the same overall skeleton to the fly.